that Trump is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than Hitler?
Yeah, absolutely he is. I would say that Trump is very authoritarian.
I think it was extremely authoritarian how Trump, he raided Biden's home, and then he gave him 4 indictments, and he just said that, like, Biden is the biggest threat to American democracy, and, like, democracy's on the ballot. Like, it's extremely just authoritarian to do that, right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, it's just also, like, extremely authoritarian to, like, you know, put Biden's family business, they put it on the stand, like, to dissolve his family business. Mm-hmm. You know, their business selling art and information to China.
Right.
Very authoritarian.
I'll agree with that.
What if I told you that those were all things that Biden's done to Trump?
I would say that you may have participated very much like Trump had done, trying to manipulate a situation to say things that sound agreeable and aren't agreeable and that sort of thing. And I would say that he's gotten into your skin.
Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. I mean, you just heard there. Shout out to the brother Shaney Rich. You just heard there. The guy agreed with everything. But then he heard it was actually Biden that did it. Then it didn't matter. But if it was Trump, oh my goodness. Yes, I agree 100%. Yeah, lock him up. Yeah, raid it. Yeah, he's authoritarian. Yeah, absolutely. Oh no, it was actually Biden. Oh, well, yeah, he must have got under your skin or something. I love checking out stuff like that because it just proves Republicans right, man. It just proves us right once again. These folks don't have a single clue. They don't have a single clue. And I think that's part of the problem as well in this country is that people don't actually know the truth about it all. Right? You know, you hear Democrats scream about misinformation and disinformation and blah, 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 when they're the ones that's actually lying the whole time, which is the crazy part about it. But once again, you know, they're hypocrites. So I guess it's not too crazy, you know, because they're just living up to what we've always known them to be, hypocrites. But their constituents, the people that vote for them, are just absolutely clueless. Which is why I came up with the phrase, when the facts come out, they run, because whenever they're faced with any facts or any questions, any legitimate questions, any tough questions, why do you actually support Joe Biden? Their number one answer that we heard, you guys heard it with me. The videos are still up here on the channel. One of their number one answers was because he's not Trump. And they said it as if that was a great answer. Like, you just vote for a guy because he's not this other guy? Give me something else. What's a legitimate reason as to why you support this guy? Almost nobody could ever come up with an answer. But that's, like I said, that's part of the problem. If they actually knew the truth, I think some of them, a good portion of them, would change their minds. It's just a matter of getting the message to marinate in their minds without them just instantly blocking it off, you know, because of how polarized, you know, politics is these days. It's a little difficult sometimes, you know. So when people say, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Rich. I do want to speak about things more, but I don't want to talk about it with my family. Hey, I get it. I hear you. Right. You know, I understand, because some people are crazy, man. Some people are absolute lunatics. You say you support Trump, and you better have your hands up. You know what I'm saying? You better be ready, all right? But we have another Trump deranged individual here today by the name of Robert De Niro, who I'm sure you guys know and have heard of, who recently went on a Trump deranged rant because I guess part of his speech was cut off the last time he went on a Trump deranged rant when he was receiving an award, I believe. So he didn't like that very much. Check it out.
I just want to say one thing. The beginning of my speech was edited, cut out. I didn't know about it. And I want to read it. It was, thank you. History isn't history anymore. Truth is not truth. Even facts are being replaced by alternative facts and driven by conspiracy theories and ugliness. In Florida, young students are taught that slaves developed skills which could be applied for their personal benefit. The entertainment industry isn't immune to this festering disease. The Duke John Wayne famously said of Native Americans, "I don't feel we did wrong in taking this great country away from them. There were great numbers of people who needed new land, and the Indians were selfishly trying to keep it for themselves." Lying has become just another tool in the charlatan's arsenal. The former president lied to us more than 30,000 times.
Also, I would say, why doesn't he give up some land? You know, the crazy part about all of this is Democrats will yell and scream about, you know, equality, equity, blah, blah, blah. You know, like the whole Oprah and Dwayne situation, which Dwayne came out and apologized, and it seemed like he understood where people were coming from. Oprah, not so much. She kind of played victim, in my humble opinion, which I don't agree with, but hey, that's her choice, I guess. But they will yell and scream about equity, equality, and all this other stuff while they live on their private land with their multiple houses that they're never willing to or going to give up or share with anybody else. But they want all of us to share. They want all of us to give up what we have and give up what we worked hard for. And they don't ever want to give up anything. I just find that interesting. You know, if you care so much about people, why are you rich still? Why are you still worth, you know, X millions of dollars? Why haven't you given that away to the less fortunate? Why haven't you given away your wealth to people who need it, who could actually use it? Just saying. I'm just asking. I think that's a legitimate question, if you ask me. You know, I'm just saying.
There were great numbers of people who needed new land, and the Indians were selfishly trying to keep it for themselves. Lying has become just another tool in the charlatan's arsenal. The former president lied to us more than 30,000 times during his years in office. And he's keeping up the pace in his current campaign of retribution. But with all his lies, he can't hide his soul. He attacks the weak, destroys the gifts of nature, and shows disrespect, for example, by using Pocahontas as a slur. Filmmakers, on the other hand, strive. This is where I came in and I saw that they edited all that. So I'm going to say these things, but to Apple and thank them and all that, Gotham, blah, 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 Apple, but I don't feel like thanking them at all for what they did. How dare they do that, actually? But now I will go to accepting the award for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, garbage. Garbage, you know. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these woke movies are just absolutely terrible. Just about every single woke movie is terrible. I haven't heard of one good woke movie as of yet. If anybody has one, you know, name it. You know, I'll be honest. You know, if a woke movie is good, you know, I'll say it's good. You know, it'll be an outlier, but, you know, I'll admit it. But I haven't heard of one. So, yeah, unfortunately, these guys will be winning some awards for some terrible movies. But anyway, you know, Trump derangement, man. We need a cure ASAP. Because Trump derangement is everywhere. And I'm sure you guys remember on MSNBC. Well, there's a lot of instances on MSNBC, but this one in particular is the one I'm speaking of.
Have a responsibility to really tune out the voices of the haters, of the people that are constantly double
Shilling
and
for
triple
him.
checking and shilling for him and suggesting
Sick.
that somehow they're being biased, bending over backwards, treating him like a normal candidate. He's not a normal candidate. He is running to end American democracy as we know it. He's an authoritarian who a court in Colorado 2 days ago ruled that he led an insurrection against the United States government. He's charged with leading schemes to help overthrow the United States.
How? Well, I just have to ask this question. How did he lead? Because he said peacefully. I'm still, nobody can answer that question for me. How did he lead? And why is this called, like, people act as if, first off, people act as if this was going to completely overthrow the U.S. government. I'm sorry, last time I checked, we have the most powerful military on this planet, right? And if you think a bunch of people running into a building, right, with no weapons, as far as I know, no weapons, no guns, are going to take over the most powerful country on this planet, I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't compute. Maybe I'm an idiot. Call me crazy. Maybe I am. Okay? That may be true. All right? Maybe I'm off my rockers. But that just doesn't compute to me. Some people with no guns are going to take over the most powerful country on this planet, when Joe Biden himself had even said, in response to people not wanting to have their AR-15s taken away, he talked about fighter jets. So let's bring up fighter jets in this situation. A bunch of people with no guns, no F-16s or fighter jets or anything like that, no tanks, no nukes, no anything, are going to take over the most powerful country in this planet by running into a building. That one just doesn't compute to me. It just doesn't. And Trump saying to peacefully protest all of a sudden means, hey, go destroy everything. Like, go take over the government. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I got some misinformation going on here. I don't know, but y'all let me know. Y'all let me know.
Charged with leading schemes to help overthrow the United States government.
And why is he shaking?
So if they want to frame it that way, that's fine. If you want to be fair, then you will frame this as Joe Biden being the candidate that supports American democracy, and Donald Trump, a candidate who supports a new form of government here that's authoritarian. It's really that simple. And by the way,
Wrong.
Reverend Allen,
You got it backwards.
people go, oh, you can't compare him
He's
to
just
past Nazi
kidding.
leaders. You can't compare him to this past Nazi leader or that past fascist leader because he hasn't done that. Well, what hasn't he done? He hasn't done the things that the American judicial system did not allow him to do last time, but may very well allow him to do this time, or a judicial system that will be ignored by Donald Trump and ran over by Donald Trump to create the greatest constitutional crisis of our lifetimes. Just because.
Oh, you mean like Joe Biden creating some of the greatest crisis of our lifetime? You mean like Joe Biden not protecting the American people by opening a southern border wide open and just allowing people in? You mean like Joe Biden caring more about foreign land than American land and protecting other foreign borders, sending money to other foreign borders instead of our own border to close it? You mean like that? Oh, you mean like Joe Biden being authoritarian and allegedly, I gotta say allegedly, sending his henchmen to go and lock up Donald Trump for what I would consider BS charges? You mean that Donald Trump authoritarian? No, I think you got it confused. I think it's Joe Biden, actually. You mean like Joe Biden, Joe Biden's government, allowing him to allegedly do whatever he wants to with zero consequences? You mean like Joe Biden having documents and allegedly moving them the day before they came to search, allegedly, and having them when he wasn't even a president, but nothing ever happening to Joe Biden. But Trump's the authoritarian. I'm just confused. I'm just confused. You mean like Hillary doing the same thing when she wasn't a president, and just don't you do that again? No. Oh, I forgot. Mike Pence. Can't forget about him. Nothing. But Trump is the authoritarian. But he's the only one that people are going after because allegedly he didn't give them back in time or wasn't going to give them back. But the people that had them weren't even president, so they weren't supposed to have them in the first place. But we don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying. Let me slow down. I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm flying a little too close to the sun. Let me chill out. Okay. Goodness gracious. You just can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. You really cannot make this stuff up. Oh, Trump's gonna do stuff that he's never done, but Biden's actually already doing this stuff that we think Trump is going to do. But we don't want to talk about Biden. We're gonna talk about Trump emulating Biden and what Biden's doing already. Allegedly, of course. Allegedly. Gotta say that. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Y'all let me know what you thought about this mess in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.